Hello everyone, and welcome to Eberron Terminus. Thank you for joining us tonight for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Chloe, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/D&D and twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. For anyone who is a bit new to D&D, even if you somehow also stumbled upon the official D&D Twitch channel, everyone who you can see here plays fantasy characters in a fantasy universe. They are all playing individual characters with character sheets that tell them what they're good at, what they're bad at, etc. And 9 times out of 10, they will be rolling 20-sided dice, just like this, and adding a number from that sheet to the dice roll to see if they are woefully poor at things or effortlessly successful. 20s are good, 1s are bad, and everything is on that kind of scale. So whilst they're all playing their own specific character, everything else in the world is played by me. Most likely vehicles and land masses today, I'm guessing, with a few people thrown in. Between me describing the world and the players describing what their characters do, and some dice rolls to keep things unpredictable, we tell a story together. So this is episode 2 of Eberron Terminus, and so to give everyone a little recap in case you missed or you're a bit rusty on episode 1, everyone here is a member of the Line, which is like a special ops team based in Khorvaire that is trying to preserve some kind of peace after the end of the last war. And so this group have just been on a mission to recover a Siberys Dragonshard from a person called Dargameth. And there was a lot of being thrown out of windows, of being flown around by gargoyles, of massive hands coming out of the floor, of executive toys hitting people in the face, that kind of thing. And you recovered that beautifully, and you've just been given a fresh mission, which is to catch up with a runaway train where one of your allies is on board, and you think there is also potentially a cult and another valuable and powerful dragon shard. And obviously the one way to catch up to a runaway train is to charter an airship to go in a straight line and kind of head it off at the pass. So you're currently on that airship, and a little bit suspicious of some of the other people on it as well. I will now hand over to you. If you could introduce yourself, your pronouns, your character, your character's pronouns, and maybe just a little bit about where their head's at this current point in time.
Hi, I'm G. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Riddy, who uses she, her pronouns. At the moment, she's been told that there's these somebody on this ship is not particularly trustworthy, but she's not the wisest, and she's pretty experienced in going on missions, so she's sort of not too worried about it. Like at the start of the mission, I think she's just sort of looking forward to getting stuck into the mess of it. Although because we're looking for, one of the things we're after is we know that someone we know, Kane, is on the train. So maybe a bit concerned because Kane isn't the kind of person that gets taken advantage of easily, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hi, I am Grace, and I use they them pronouns, and I will be playing Ward, who also uses they them pronouns. Ward is a quite tall, sort of fairly built, coppery and wooden warforged wizard. Where is Ward at the minute? They're feeling a little bit sort of off balance, a little bit uncomfortable with the whole situation. They haven't been on an airship since the last war, and that's bringing back lots of sort of uncomfortable memories for them, and are worried about trying to keep the rest of the group safe with people on the ship that they don't necessarily trust. They're disappointed that they weren't able to go home after the last mission, which is what they sort of expected to, and will be hopefully contacting some people from home to let them know later in the session.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Mac, who also uses he, him pronouns. Mac's a little bit concerned that they just came straight off a mission and have gone onto another mission. He traditionally likes to rest in between these things, get his powers back, chill, enjoy a good carpet that's been stolen, that kind of thing. So we are also believing that possibly someone is a little bit suspect, who is one of our contacts, and that means that Mac's not going to get a good night's sleep either until we figure out what's going on there.
Hi, I'm Pav. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Mucht, who uses they, them pronouns, but they are changeling bards, so they take on different personas, so sometimes that changes. Mucht has had quite a good day. They're up a rug, and they have had quite enjoyed some jelly deals on the airship, which is nice. However, thanks to Aoife, they found out recently that this suspect person seems to also be a changeling, and Mucht is very suspicious of changelings. As a changeling, they know that changelings are very suspicious.
Hi, I'm Vic. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Aoife, who also uses she, her pronouns. She's a Kalashtar druid. Yeah, she's very aware that there is some suspicious, or a kind of suspicious character on this ship, but she's also quite new to the job, and while she's always sort of trusted her instincts in the past, that kind of insecurity of being the new kid is sort of coming through a little bit. She's also very worried because there is a real chance that this train is heading to where her entire tribe lives, which is on the edge of the Mournlands, and like protecting them is their whole deal. So she's sort of feeling the weight of a legacy falling on her at the moment as well, which is always fun. She joined the line to get away from that ship.
Cool. And also worth mentioning that Rudy has a familiar and Mac has a steel defender. And I believe they're both of those use they he, him pronouns in reference to those.
Yeah, Falchion definitely does it.
Cool. And
sort of sidekick.
I'm Chloe and I use she, her pronouns, but I'll be playing various different characters with various pronouns. Couple of practicals before we head back into the story. The stream will run for about 3 hours. There'll be a roughly 5-10 minute break somewhere in the middle. We are delighted to be sponsored by D&D Beyond, who are the official digital toolset for Dungeons & Dragons. D&D Beyond offers a compendium of all of the game's rules, lore, adventures, digital tools like a character builder. You can see Grace with their character sheet there. Everyone has digital character sheets, and you can see if you kind of click on the overlay, if you're watching on Twitch, click on a face, and you'll see that character sheet. And so you can also, the portraits are from an amazing artist called Aviv Orr, so a quick shout out as well to Aviv for doing those for us.
Yeah.
And also with D&D Beyond, the Digital Dice Alpha is coming very soon. Anyone with a Master or a Hero tier subscription will have early access to rolling dice for any check, attack, and much more directly from your character sheet. Who knows, it might even be out today. I'm not quite sure exactly of the times. We are also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. You can get your tabletop organised with character folios, dice bags, and more from them. They do a huge number of things. They are a leading supplier and manufacturer of sports and gaming collectibles. One of those being these little folks. We are giving away one of these Xanathar dice bags because there is a little zip around the back to pop your dice into. Cute little plushies. And if you are in the Twitch chat, give us a little shout. If you have a UK address, then you will be in with a chance of winning this little thing. I don't know if this I don't know if this is a they, a he, or a she right now. We will also give this dice bag a name in the break because we haven't yet named this week's one. And for anyone feeling a bit worried, we won't post you that exact one. It will be one that actually is in the original wrapping, hasn't been touched, nice, safe and sound. So we also play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans positive and we encourage and champion trans players and characters in our games. Myself and the characters might be portraying, and indeed are portraying, characters that have a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but we acknowledge it does happen and we have a policy in place for correcting it. However, if we miss an instance, we're open to being corrected, so do give us a shout out in chat if you think one's been missed. Lastly, you might occasionally see people in the game holding up pieces of paper like this that say pause on it, or people mentioning lines or veils. Those are some of the safety tools that we use in game. If anyone holds up their pause card, we will take a brief break while we check in with everyone and pick up a few minutes later once everyone's comfortable. And if lines are mentioned, we will stay away from content. If we draw a veil over things, then it happens, as it were, off screen. There'll be a link in the Twitch chat if you're interested in any of those tools in a bit more detail. So, with all that said, let's kick things off with the official Eberron Terminus video intro featuring that awesome character artwork by Vivor. Awesome. So we are picking up on the Blackjack, which is the airship that you are all currently on. It's a bit splintered, it's paint chipped, it's seen better days, but it is your best bet at catching up with this runaway train that is currently in the middle of Breland. Outside, the sun is setting as the Blackjack is nimbly swooping between some of the mountains outside of Shan. The tips of them becoming silhouettes against the colour-streaked sky. The air is getting colder even inside the ship, and most of you are on the second deck, surrounded by half-eaten plates of jellied eels and pickles, bread, cured meats, etc. However, Pav, Mukt recently went invisible to follow Liz downstairs. Liz is the crew member who everyone has basically mentioned as being highly suspicious, and you went down to the cargo deck where Liz was speaking with a crew member, Holden, and had mentioned that it's best to wait till morning. That is the last thing you heard. What would you like to do?
So I think the first thing that I do is that I use the telepathy that I was bestowed by Aoife to communicate to her immediately. They said, wait until morning. I don't know what that means. But in my brain. And then can I attempt to discern whether or not the...
Oh, sure.
Sorry, my internet dropped there for some completely different reason, so I didn't hear any of the message that Mark sent to Aoife.
Okay.
Okay, Pav, if you could just go back and repeat the message.
So Mook just said, they said wait until morning. I don't know what that means.
Wait until morning for what? To take out the rubbish? Or
I don't know. I'm spying. I'm going to carry on spying, and then when I've done spying, then you will know the end of the spying. And then can I try to discern whether or not the way that Liz said it made it sound like the thing they were waiting for until morning was nefarious?
You can roll insight.
Okay.
I'll see what your roll is, and then
it was slyly a natural 20.
Hey!
I'd say you were already a bit suspicious of Liz, and I think it's fair to say, I mean, Liz sounds very kind of calm and matter-of-fact about it. There isn't anything expressed in how Liz says it that goes, this is obviously... Like, Liz isn't twiddling some kind of moustache as she's saying it. However, it's kind of up to you because you're already suspicious, and it might sound a little bit odd. Holden has just replied. Holden is like a human man, short back and sides, kind of black hair, and such like, and some piercings kind of along the lines of his eyebrows, which are his most distinguishing feature. Holden has just replied with a silent nod, and starts tending to some of the boxes of cargo, because mainly it's just cargo and items down here to help repair the ship.
Are there any large open boxes?
There are a couple of large open boxes. There are some large closed boxes. Great. You've got an embarrassment of riches box-wise.
I will spy with my little eye the largest open box and then get inside of it and wait.
Oh my god.
And relay any pertinent information. These boxes aren't getting chucked off the ship, right? It's not
Guess
like
you'll find out. Guess you'll find out.
Okay.
You can't see any boxes getting chucked off the ship. You can't see where there would be. There is like a large kind of door with a lock on it, but it's more like a kind of hatch, which you would presume is open when the ship is docking.
They're chucking the boxes out in the morning.
Could you roll me a stealth check at advantage, because you're invisible, but you're still trying to climb into a box to do the spying?
Okay, 19.
Okay, 19. So you do manage to climb into a large box. It's a very musky smell. It's old ropes that are a little bit mouldy, so it's not the most glamorous thing for Mukt. But you can stay there. Are you just going to stay there as long as possible?
Well, I just wanted to check. So the effect for being able to speak telepathically to Aoife lasts an hour, as does invisibility. Yes. Am I aware of like the clock of that?
You would definitely, like, you know Aoife, you know Kalash has, you also know your own invisibility spell. You know you've got an hour until you are suddenly visible.
Cool. So I would probably stay for up to like 45, 50 minutes, if just to discern anything useful and then relay it.
Okay. So what is everyone else just kind of getting along with their business upstairs whilst Mukt is on the lower deck?
If you had to describe the taste of jelly deals as anything, how would you describe that?
I'd tell people not to eat them.
Yeah. Fair.
Pretty much just leave it at that.
Really salty.
Right.
Like salty rubber.
Right. It's always good to describe taste to someone who can't taste things with another taste. But you know.
Have you ever tasted copper?
Have you ever tasted your own flesh? Have you heard anything from
Yes, actually. Apparently they're waiting until morning.
For what?
He doesn't know. They don't know.
Okay.
Right.
Mukt, have you heard anything? Where are you? I don't need to touch my ear. It's telepathy.
I say, don't worry, I'm in a box of ropes.
He says not to worry. No, they say not to worry, they're in a box of ropes. Because they're Franz at the moment. So it's...
Okay.
Yes, just to clarify, Mukt is currently in persona as Franz, and Franz uses he, him pronouns, so sometimes there is a shifting there.
Wait, is he in a box of ropes? He's in an awful lot of trouble? I'm in a whole box of ropes over here, you know. Or like, is that like a metaphor for I'm in a bind? I don't.
I ain't never heard that metaphor before.
Is it code?
Mukt, we're wondering, are you being literal?
Yes.
He's being literal. They're being literal.
Well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I suppose we can just wait.
To be fair, there probably are quite a lot of boxes of ropes on the ship.
So whilst you're chatting about these bits and pieces, is it fair to use both he and they pronouns for Mukt right now, Pav?
Totally.
That's because they're in persona. You are crouching in this box, and Holden and Liz occasionally are just chatting, and it's very innocuous things. Liz does mention that she's excited to get to the train, really looking forward to it. Holden asks Liz for her opinion of all of you, and Liz's reply is they can definitely take care of themselves. I think fortunately they seem smart enough to know that it wouldn't be wise to start a fight on an airship in mid-flight. And Holden just looks at Liz and goes, right, well, that's very good to know, isn't it? and then they go back to silently rearranging some boxes, and also it seems prepping some to take up to the upper decks. Is there anything you want to relay?
I will relay word for word what they're saying as they're saying it, so that everyone else has the same information.
Sure.
And word for word from that.
Cool.
Are we smart enough not to start a fight on an airship?
No.
Not me.
Yeah. I think Ward sort of like wordlessly grumbles and then sort of just taps their chest where there's sort of this ring of copper, and the runes on it glow green, and the copper sort of extends further over the wooden parts of them, and they cast Mage Armor.
Okay. How long does Mage Armor last for?
I think
8 hours.
8 hours.
As I remember.
Nice.
Ward is not fucking around.
I've lived too long to take any risks about things like this.
I will cast Minor Illusion in one of the boxes. Go on.
Minor Illusion, I believe that if you are invisible and you cast a spell or make an attack, you'll lose that. Now, Minor Illusion is a cantrip, but it will count in terms of that. So if you do that, and you would know that as Mukt.
Yes.
It's totally up to you. If you're like far enough down in the box, you might get away with it.
Nah, it's not. Self-preservation is by far the most important instinct in this context. No, I will not do anything. I will. What do I have? No, I won't do. No, I'm not. I'm too scared.
They're currently silently shifting bits and pieces around, checking on various boxes. Holden says to Liz, "So what? We just wait for everyone to go to sleep, wait till morning. That's what you mean, right? Just so I know exactly what happens when. You know, you know more about this stuff than me." And
relaying to Aoife.
Yeah. And Liz says, "Yes. I mean, there is a Warforged, so I assume standard sentry, but we should be fine."
I think these people are not nice. Rudy stands up and kind of grabs her hammer and swings over her shoulder and goes, "I've had about enough of these two, so who thinks it's about time for a face-to-face?"
Well, might I suggest that they said they were going to wait until morning. Maybe we should, lie in wait and see what they're doing. Because it could be a bit embarrassing if it turns out they're just sort of doing some, I don't know, maybe they're emptying out the toilets or something, and it's just a bit like, oh, don't do that while the guests are awake.
I don't do embarrassed, so that's not a problem for me. But, I mean, if you think it's the smarter move, I'll back you play.
We could always go to the captain and ask them if they normally have a shapeshifter on board.
Well, we don't know. That wouldn't necessarily confirm things. We don't know that the captain isn't involved. We have no further knowledge than that. The thing that I would say is potentially, having just come from a fight, we're not, I don't know about the rest of you, but we're not quite at our full, full strength. So perhaps preparing a plan for things overnight, but, not getting too stuck into, we could wait for our fisticuffs until dawn, as it were.
I was thinking we get this fight out of the way now, because we may have a train full of Emerald Claw idiots to deal with, and we may need all of our skills for that.
That is a fair point.
Sounds sensible to me.
Also, I'm dying to fire this false crossbow.
Well, I guess the only diplomatic thing to do is to put it to a vote. Are we going to fight on the airship, or are we going to wait very sensibly until we're rested and not have a fight thousands of feet? But not that I have any particular opinion on it, but
Loaded question.
whatever you all decide is the best thing to do is probably the best thing to do. But I guess we should probably take a vote on it.
Maybe we could just ask them what they're planning on doing.
It's worth a try. And if there's going to be a fight, then we can start it.
Yes. I'm usually pretty good at telling if someone's lying to me. So, if we sense that they're perhaps being suspicious, then we can have a fight on an airship.
You know what? Right now, we could go up there and question them because we have an advantage that they don't know about. Mm-hmm. We have a mukt sitting in a box, ready to jump out.
And dazzle them with my great new glamour weave tuxedo.
Oh yeah.
We actually could have more even of an advantage than that if we want to kind of hide some of ourselves, and I'd take out the portable hole.
So
anybody want to jump in? Maybe someone who doesn't need air? Ward?
Eva, give me a good reason why you want me to jump into the hole.
Because then when we go down there and if a fight breaks out, and they're like, there's only 3 of them, we can take them, and then Mulch can be like, surprise, there's 4, and then you can be like, surprise, there's 5.
If it would make you happy.
Are you just so reluctantly just like stepping into what looks like a kind of camera aperture?
No, I'm going to repeat what we saw in the scene earlier in the and do it the opposite way. Actually, I'm going to take it from Aoife and just like sort of step up into it and get and,
okay.
Well, you won't be able to hear if I've got anything to say, but none of you ever listen to me anyway, so from inside the hole, I would imagine they're still like, oh, well, as you just close it.
That's cute.
So, you've got Ward there in the portable hole. You seem to have, you've had your democratic vote on what to do.
We put the dissenters in a hole.
Yeah. But you don't have anything new to report. They've now resorted, the pair of them, they've done bits and pieces of jobs that they need to do, and they're just playing cards on top of a few boxes. What do you want to do? They are on the deck below you. Ket, who is the captain, is on the deck above you.
How long did it take me to get down here?
Oh, a matter of it's seconds. It is basically a wooden staircase that goes, because these are only the decks are only about 10 feet tall, so it's literally going down some stairs.
I say to Aoife, shall I wait or shall I start?
Well, you might as well go ahead.
Great.
This is so bad.
Okay. In which case, I would like to change my persona to Gerthin, who is a middle-aged female dwarf. For whom this...
So, you might look like a dwarf in the wrong aspect ratio because you can't make yourself shorter.
So I am a slightly extended in terms of height and slightly thinner dwarf, middle-aged woman called Gerthin. And I've changed persona. I will then attempt to sneak towards the card game, take a seat, and look as if I am playing, and then drop invisibility.
Amazing, incredible.
Cool. So yeah, your shapeshift is an ability, so that doesn't interfere with your invisibility. Can I just check? Does Gerthin use? Is that she, her pronouns to refer to Gerthin? Cool. And you're just going to.
Yeah.
Okay. What? and you get 2 looks at you to go. Not seen this person before. Just to I'm gonna give them a chance to understand that. Okay.
So I then just say, I always find that it's best to fold when you know you're beat.
Deep.
Sorry, Holden. This. Well, actually, sorry, I don't know exactly what your name is. But I.
Same to you, I think.
My name's Liz. This is Holden. Hi.
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 How you doing?
Playing cards. Good. How are you? Just popping. Sorry, where did you even come from?
I was just hanging out on the ship.
Okay. You know, people can get jumpy when you just appear out of nowhere. Are you trying to... Do you want to make any form of intimidation or such role? You can if you want, or it can just be...
I guess I am kind of, not very good at... I know, yeah. But
we'll
okay,
good.
fine. Why not?
Roll and we'll see how good.
Yeah. 12.
Okay. Let me just... Okay. Holden does kind of sit back a little bit, but Liz doesn't flinch. So you are you good at cards? Good at games?
Yeah, I am very good at playing games.
See, good at bluffing, I'm guessing, given that, and just gestures to the fact that you obviously must have used some magic or such because you look very different to anyone that she's met so far.
Yeah. And then I would like to the glamour weave, is it just an at will thing? I don't have to say anything or
No, there's no activation thing that you have to do. You can just use that ability.
Cool. In which case I would like to turn my glamour weave into an illusion of Liz's face tessellated.
Okay. I'll allow that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just and ideally all of the eyes looking at Liz.
I'm flattered.
Houndstooth Liz.
I'm flattered. The thing is about games, it's hard to win them when you're not holding any of the cards and just gestures to your empty hands.
I at that point panic signal to Aoife okay guys, come on then, let's do it.
Roger that. Okay everyone, it's go time. Ward, it's go time.
Instantly, Rudy starts heading for the stairs. Sidekick runs down the stairs.
I'm assuming there's no stealthing happening here because it will be very audible that suddenly on the deck above.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at this point, Rudy's not stealthing.
Well, if Rudy's not stealthing, they're definitely hearing us. So the rest of us, it's pointless stealthing anyway.
Yeah.
I would like to roll a stealth check, Chloe. From I would say that I was.
How loud is Ward grumbling to themselves at the moment?
I think when Aoife opens the bag, they're like, well, I'll and she closes it again. Be here.
In that case, if you are all charging down, this feels like the moment to roll initiative.
Oh, we have to fight them. We haven't even tried to speak to them about what they're planning yet.
Well, let me know if I've misinterpreted. Has everyone run down to go and speak to them?
Sorry? What I missed the question.
I'm just checking I've not misinterpreted. Has anyone run down quickly and vigorously to just go speak to people?
Oh no,
I'm not necessarily. I don't think Rudy's necessarily walking in to instantly start the fight.
Okay.
But is getting into the situation.
Yeah, the other two are very much on edge, so
yeah,
we're gonna go initiative. Anyone got 20 or above?
20.
Nice. And sidekick will also go on your 10.
Yeah.
15 to 20.
17.
10 to 15.
14. But I'm in
You are in a hole. Okay. And let me just check their rolls. What do Aoife and Mac have? 10.
That's 10's pretty good. I've got 3 because I rolled a 2 and I added 1 to it.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, so that's them and them, and then right at the bottom there, right at the bottom with Falchion is Mac. Okay.
Save some for me.
Rudy, you are first up. Running down the stairs, you can easily get down to the next level. You've got sidekick by your side, and you can see that it's just 3 people seemingly playing cards.
Okay. So Rudy, she walks down and I think is going to go for the intimidation again.
Sure.
And sidekick is, I think, helping with this by... It's still in spider mode, so runs up on the ceiling and makes a weird spider-like hissy noise.
Yep.
And Rudy walks over and takes out I take out one of my Kana blades and land it in the table through half a deck of cards.
Yeah.
And just lean over and slam my hand down and lean over Liz and go, so what did you say was happening in the morning?
Oh, she's so cool. Oh.
Can you please roll intimidation with advantage, because that was incredibly cool.
Badass.
I was intimidated, and I'm not.
So that is 17.
Okay. Liz stares back. We don't know what side you're on. Looking straight back at you.
Ooh, interesting.
Well, maybe you want to give us the chance of being on the same side. Do I look smart enough not to start a fight on an airship to you?
Pennies dropped about the spying. Mukt / Gerfin. If I'm just going to go through it this way so that if anyone wants to trigger stuff, they can. But at the moment, everyone's just talking.
I will attempt to look like I am not running away whilst standing up and walking away backwards, but I'm trying to look intimidated. I'm trying to look like I'm not trying to position myself strategically away from people. But that's definitely what I'm doing.
Okay, that's going to be a performance roll, and that's going to be quite the DC.
Okay.
To retreat without looking like.
I mean, look, I don't even know how to do it, but it is another natural 20, which plus my performance is 28. I'm just maybe I'm clicking my fingers. It's like a kind of West Side Story vibe. I don't know what's happening, but
okay, so it doesn't look like you're doing that, and no one acts like you're doing that, but you do manage to back off. Next up would actually be Ward, but I don't know if you're aware of anything that's happening because you're inside this hole. So you're just waiting.
I would like to hold my action to if we're assumably while we're still in initiative, if someone opens the hole, I would like to hold my action to emerge from the hole.
I will happily let you hold that action.
Thank you. Is that technically the dash action?
I think it's disengage.
Disengage from hole.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So I'll be holding that movement. Okay, so next up is Aoife. At the moment, still just people talking. It's a little bit tense, but
I think I'm just gonna open the top of the hole and just kind of lean down towards and just go. I to be honest, I think we've lost the element of surprise at this point. You might as well just come out.
I think what I would like to do is, because you repeated that they had mentioned that I was in the Aoife, you had repeated that Mook had repeated that they had said that there was a Warforged in the party, and I don't know how they feel about us, but what I'm going to do is sort of ham things up a little bit. So where there's sort of like these like sort of crystal lenses where Ward's eyes are, I'm just going to sort of intensify the sort of the glow of my magic core so that my eyes glow a bright green, and the exhaust ports that run either side of where my ribcage would be if I had a ribcage, sort of like just hiss out this sort of like dull green smoke, and I'm just going to like one hand bang on the top of the hole, other hand up, and just sort of like climb up out and just sort of go, and I think you want to play nicely with us, and just sort of like onto deck.
Okay. Cool. That's that. Yeah. Ward being a big old ham is definitely effective with that kind of vibe. Okay.
And I'm out of the hole. Yes.
Mission complete.
Next up is Holden, who a lot of you are seeing for the first time. He is just sitting quite still by this box, still holding cards, but appropriately close to his chest because he's kind of sat back from the table. And at the moment is just sitting back and letting Liz take the lead. And Liz responds to Rudy. So you just asked, you want to make sure you're on the right side, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. See, this is hard to know because we don't know if you're on. Do you know about the captain?
Rudy, I think I look around everybody else.
I say yes.
We know all sorts of things about the captain, but how can we know if you're being so cagey what it is in particular that you're referring to? Perhaps we should be holding our cards a little less close to our chest, as it were.
True. Perhaps we should be holding them less close to our chest. Literally nods at Holden, and Holden just puts them down. But also maybe not stabbing our cards to the table. Looking at Rudy.
Yeah, I pull my blade out of it and put it back in its holster, and kind of stand back. But like I'm still right next to her, but I'm not like leaning over her anymore.
Okay, so Liz just looks at you and kind of looks to Holden, seemingly holding out a hand to slightly comfort him because he seems very intimidated. Well, so, and looks at Aoife. You know that I'm not Liz. She asked me to take her place because she thinks that Ket is a spy, and I'm more capable of dealing with that than Liz is.
Can I insight check?
Sure.
That's pretty good. Let's just some things to that.
The only thing
am
is,
I not pushed an insight? That surprised me. Okay, that's a 16.
16. You are not convinced by this whatsoever.
Good try. Again with the truth, please.
Liz looks at Holden. Holden looks at Liz. Do it. And we're going to go back into... we are now technically... Okay, so... technically
terrified.
we had got up to max turn, but because Rudy was top of initiative, we're going to just start with Rudy and then roll through. So, Rudy, you hear that and you see an attempt to start moving very quickly from both Liz and Holden. But at the moment, they're only able to get to their feet before you can act. What do you do?
Okay. I grab her.
Okay, so that's gonna be a grapple.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Oh, these dice are awful. So
That's what we like to hear.
Keep using them.
Good, because I didn't roll particularly well either. 14.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
So you do manage to. Oh, you just simply grappling to
So
hold.
I'm grabbing her.
Her in place.
And does that count as an attack? Because I get 2 attacks.
I believe it's instead of an attack action with grappling.
Right.
It's instead of an attack roll. Let me just check if it's actually a grapple attack. Grapple is instead of the action.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Because I can. Oh no, I can't do that. That's never mind. Okay.
You can actually. That is, you can use the attack action to make the special melee attack grapple. So it could be an attack, and then they get a second attack.
All right.
It does actually. It counts as far as I'm aware, it counts as both attacks because it's the action.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then no, that's fine.
You only get
That's
an
fair.
extra attack if you take the attack action,
Take the attack
and this is a different
action.
action.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. In that case, I want Sidekick to drop off the ceiling onto Holden.
Oh, so cool.
So is Sidekick also trying to grapple?
No, I can't do that because the other thing would have to be an action as well. No, that's not going to work. Sorry, I had a whole plan and then realised it wasn't going to work.
Hey, plans in D&D never do.
Yeah, fair.
I think we are the case in point there.
I mean, you've got Liz. You are currently holding Liz, who is looking dead into your eyes.
Yeah. Fine. I'm just gonna grab hold of her then, and I think I'll bring. Sidekick drops off the ceiling onto the table. Just.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Mukt/Girthin.
Cool. Girthin runs to the box, grabs the rope, and then runs to where Liz is, and depending on where I can get in this process, either starts trying to tie her up or gives the rope to Rudy, something like that. That's the intention. Whatever I can do with an action and a movement.
Yeah, absolutely. With your movement, you can get there and back. I'd allow that kind of picking up the rope and such, and getting it over there would be using your action to use an object.
Cool.
But I'll say that because obviously you'd have a bonus, you won't be able to tie it up, but you can start getting things in place to use that rope to tie her up. It's quite compact in this deck, just because we're going to start getting into people moving past people. But at the moment, how everyone's positioned, you're not going in and out too much of people's spaces, but I will mention if you are. Okay, we are on to Ward.
Ward is going to pull a Ward special, seeing that Liz is restrained. They're sort of going to reach out with their hand and close it, and a huge hand punches out of one of the boxes of ropes made out of sort of writhing ropes, and it's going to attempt to grab Holden with Maximilian's earthen grasp.
Nice. Classic Ward move.
Classic Ward move, you know.
Yeah. What do you need? Do you need a saving from me?
I need a strength saving throw from Holden.
Okay.
Please.
That is a 16.
Ooh, that is my DC. That's annoying. Ooh.
Well, so these writhing ropes come out and try to grab onto Holden. but he manages, like, because he's actually quite he is quite muscular, he is quite strong, and just manages to actually kind of tear them away from him, not tearing the ropes apart, but tearing the mesh of them apart.
Yeah, the hand sort of like pulls apart and then slams closed, reforms behind him as if it's gonna like sweep back round on my next turn.
Nice. Do you have any bonuses or any movement you want to use?
I don't think so. No. Okay. No. I'm just sort of like almost like not a composer. What's the?
Oh, a conductor.
A conductor, yeah, a conductor, like conducting this this hand around the deck.
Awesome. Aoife, on to you.
Okay, I'm gonna walk towards Holden and just say, I should have stopped you when you started acting suspicious. And as I talk, turn into a constrictor snake.
What?
And I'm going to attempt to constrict Holden.
So just to check, wild shape, is that an action or a bonus action to go into that?
Action.
If that's an action, then you won't be able to also use your constriction. Yeah. So you can totally go into snake.
That's fair. I forgot that I'm not a moon druid. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm going to turn into a snake and use my movement to like get in front of Holden.
Okay, cool.
Big old snake.
It is now Holden's go. So you'll get a attack of opportunity because Holden is going to try and move past you, Aoife. Going to try and like dart round this snake.
Oh, can I attempt to constrict him because it is an attack to constrict?
If that's an attack on your stat block, then yeah.
That is a dirty 20.
What?
Oh yeah. Rolled a 16, snakes get +4.
So Holden tries to get past this like sizable constrictor snake that's probably taking up quite a bit of this cargo deck, and you just come in.
Yeah, he takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage as that happens.
Ouch.
And the snake basically just rears up. And I want to, like, if you'll allow, the snake sort of like wraps around him until they're like face to face. And he was like, his face.
Okay, it's Holden's go. Holden is going to try and bust out of this and see if he's as good with snakes as he is with ropes.
It is a DC of 14 to break the grapple.
And is that like a strength save or athletics check? Doesn't matter. It's a 19 on the dice.
Well, there we go.
It happens.
So Holden, yet again, just like you feel that there's just like, again, as Ward has a signature move, Holden has a signature move, and it's just like busting out of things, like ropes, like snakes, all that stuff. And so Holden uses his action, but uses his movement to get further away from you, and is near to a selection of boxes. He's obviously moving further from you, and there's a second set of stairs. Basically, there are two stairs coming down onto this deck. You came down on one and Holden is by the other. But he can't do anything more than that with his current movement and such. Like, Liz is being constrained by Rudy, but is also going to try and break out of this grapple. So I presume that's going to be a fresh roll-off between us.
Yeah, I guess so.
To break this grapple. Again, not that good from Liz.
Dirty 20.
So Liz is trying to get free, and says, right, okay, so I overestimated how intelligent you were. Well done making that point. But still unable to do anything. Because would rather actually just get out of this bind. And Mac, it is your go.
It is. So I am going to step forward and touch our snaky ally and cast Enlarge. Because what's better than a snake?
Big.
An already giant snake.
I don't know how to. A giant constrictor snake is already large, so I think I become giant.
Oh my god!
There's a lot of snake.
Yeah.
I am so tired of this mother hecking snakes on this mother hecking airship.
There's only one snake.
What I'm going to say is, in terms of the snake or ether becoming large, I am now going to say that this this deck is now difficult terrain because you have to get past snake
There.
wherever you're going.
Fair.
Awesome use of enlarge. What's it like when, because obviously Mac's an artificer, so what's it like when Mac's casting enlarge?
I think it probably it looks slightly weirdly technical, like sparks coming out of their prosthetic hand, almost like they build. It looks like they build something, and then like somebody drawing something, and then it looks slightly bigger, and then it looks slightly bigger, and then it looks slightly bigger.
That's cool.
That's sweet.
I really like the fact that last week we had the reference to Aladining with a rug out a window. And
Oh, yeah.
Now we've got Jafaring turning into a giant snake.
Yeah.
Are there any bonuses on movement you want to use, Matt?
There are. Is it possible for Falchion to try and leap over the snake and get, because they can use my bonus action to attack.
Okay, so I'd like Falchion to make an athletics check. It's not the highest DC, but it's just to clear all the different bits and pieces that are around here, because there's now quite a lot of people, there's snake, there's cargo.
Okay. Right, they're trained in athletics, so that is 19 because they have +7
Okay,
athletics.
Falchion definitely manages this. And is Falchion going after Holden?
Yes.
Okay, can you roll an attack roll against Holden?
Let's do that. It's only +4, but let's see if we can do this. Oh, that is 23. That's a 19 on the dice.
Oh, that'll
Falchion is
hit.
carrying this party.
God damn, yeah.
Let me know the damage.
It's 2. Oh, not amazing damage. So that's 5 damage. 5 force damage.
Force damage, cool.
It's such cool visuals, though. It's the sort of thing where this hand of ropes comes through, and then the snake comes through and tries to grab him, gets bigger, and then the metal hyena comes leaping through. You could almost imagine it as being one flowing camera shot.
I kind of feel like, because it all technically kind of happened simultaneously, Falchion jumps through a gap and then the snake expands to fill it behind him.
Yeah. Oh,
That's definitely exactly what's happening right now. And you just do a cutaway to Ket, who I'm just gonna see.
It's like drinking tea up at the top and just sees a little ripple on the tea.
Driving, and then just kind of hears something. Oh fuck. And basically just has heard what's happening, but also kind of needs to drive the airship. So we are back up to Rudy.
So is Liz tied yet?
Liz isn't quite yet tied. Mukt / Gerthin is there ready with rope, but hasn't been able to use an action to actually tie her up.
I guess just I kind of push her back down into the seat. And kind of hold her in such a way that we can tie her up.
Cool. Can you do me a sleight of hand check just for how well these knots are?
Am I getting any help with this?
I'll say Pav,
initiative.
if you want to use, because you're next in initiative order, if you want to be using your action to help. Rudy,
or vice versa, if
someone is more dense than the other.
That's a bit better, marginally. Oh god, that's still only 11.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just make a note of that, and that'll be relevant later. Any bonuses, any movement, or anything for psychic?
I don't think so. I think Rudy sort of looks around and is like a giant person anyway, so it's just no, doesn't move either.
Cool. So Pav, Mux used their action to help tie Liz up, but you've still got a bonus and you've got movement if you want it.
Okay. Mukt will use their bonus action to give bardic inspiration to the snake. How does it's interesting because Franz is the singer, so Gerthin I think would probably say you old snake, oh go on, just hold on to Holden.
Oof, okay, you're inspired
somehow.
Giant snake.
Any movements that you want to use?
I will stay within 5 feet of Liz.
Cool. Ward.
I'm gonna one trick pony this stuff and send the hand soaring through the spiraling snake coils and attempt to grab Holden from where he looks like he's starting to go up the stairs, right? Trying to get up the stairs.
He's at the base of the stairs, hasn't yet gone up them.
Yeah, okay.
That's a dex from me, right? Or a strength save?
Strength save, yeah.
Oh man. That is a 6.
That's a failure, Chloe. That's a failure.
Is it, Grace? Is it?
Yeah, it's a failure. That's lower than my spell save DC. Yeah. So he takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage automatically, but he is also restrained. It's bullshit. Thank God. That's just 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and Ward sort of just reaches out and says, "No, you don't." I like to imagine he had sort of started to go up the stairs, and they're just like, "No," and sort of pull him back down.
There's a split screen of Liz tied up with one piece of rope and Holden just overkill.
Big like fingers made of rope wrapping around him. Yeah.
Anything else you want to do?
That is my whole turn.
Aoife, you are a massive constrictor snake.
If it's possible, I want to go full Jafar on this, and I want to circle the both Aoife and Holden in a kind of I am forming a wall around the edge of this room, and then looking down the middle of them,
Sick.
What is your movement?
As a snake, it's 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay.
Doesn't it increase with enlarge as well?
Yeah.
What I'd say is that obviously you're already taking up more space with that, so you don't actually need to move as far to get as much body around the area, if that makes sense. So I'd say that with that you can actually just because you're just extending the rear view and coming around the front, so you are now lining like some kind of draft excluder the lower deck of this ship in the cargo area.
And I'd like to lean down into Holden's face and show my big snaky teeth and just go and do the tongue thing that snakes do, but I can't do it because I'm a person.
Good.
Holden looks suitably freaked out. Yeah. It is now Holden's go. Oh, you're made of metal, aren't you?
I am, but the hand isn't.
The hand,
which is what's holding him.
Can I just check? The hand, is Holden restrained? Because this makes
Holden is restrained.
This makes a difference as to whether Holden can try to reach, as whether Holden can try to attack.
So his speed is 0, and his attacks have disadvantage.
Okay.
Because he is restrained.
And you are you're not right up close to him because you've been casting from the edge.
Yeah,
okay,
from
cool.
I think the range is 30 foot, but I haven't moved from where I first emerged from the hole next to Aoife. Obviously, although Aoife has moved.
He's not going to try and attack. He is just going to try and get free. Just wants to get free desperately.
He wants to. Yeah.
That's a 20.
Oh, that'll do it.
That's higher than my spell save DC, Chloe. So, So
again, Holden, it's just kind of getting into the right position to counterweight things and starts clawing his way much tighter this time out of all this rope. And you see with the movement that he currently has left, after taking that action, he is grabbing a box. Not going directly upstairs, he is grabbing a box.
Okay. As he breaks free, you just sort of hear Ward go, "Please, we don't want to hurt you," and sort of like trying to grab. Again.
What the feeling's not mutual. Trying to like be cool and do all that talking that people were doing earlier. But you get a sense that Holden's not great at that. It's Liz's go. Fine. And I'm going to need everyone who is within. Well, Rudy, you're right next to Liz. Mukt is right next to Liz. Technically, part of Aoife is within this space. Mac is basically in with all those folks, isn't?
Yeah, pretty much.
Isn't he? Cool. And Ward, you're quite close, right? Basically,
it's quite an enclosed space. So like, I'm imagining them standing back, but like it's quite an enclosed space. So.
Liz is gonna get all of y'all with this, so I need all of you to please make me a Constitution saving throw.
My Constitution's great.
That's not a good one for me. Oh, and that was a bad roll.
What's your inspiration?
Oh, it's not bad.
D8.
D8, yeah. Time for one of those. Then that is a 15 for the snake.
Okay.
20.
15,
22 for Rudy.
That's a 15 for Ward.
16 for me. I have +6 for this one.
Okay, so Mukt, basically, she, like, there's a slight kind of like quiver and a slight tensing, and like you see a blood vessel burst above her eye, and you notice that the sleeve of tattoos, there's a certain area that just like glows and pulses as though it's activated, and you realise that the tattoo conceals a dragon mark. And what she does is basically you suddenly hear this booming shake. Mukt, you are pushed 10 feet away, slammed into a wall, and you take 12 points of damage. The rest of you take 6 points of damage, and a series of boxes just also at the same time just up against the walls, clearing a space around Liz.
I was just wondering, technically Mukt would hit snake rather than wall, so I don't know if that would negate any damage, because snakes are softer.
It wouldn't negate this particular damage, I'm afraid.
So softer.
Are you sure, Chloe?
Can I get DM ruling on the softness of snakes?
The softness of snakes.
Okay.
That was the name of my first band.
Isn't that Tennessee
how
Williams
many-
quote? I've always relied upon the softness of snakes.
Hey.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
Okay, it's a good thing I say, because I think that's enough to one-shot the snake.
Is it?
Only a challenge rating of a quarter.
How many hit points
trying
does the constrictor have?
13.
Okay, that's all right. So you all take that damage, and Liz was only sat on a block. It was just on a boxing cargo, so it is able to stand. Obviously, still kind of like tied up, and it's difficult for her to move, but does stand because she starts. It was an 11. It was not a good knot, and she's able just to, with a bonus, start shuffling, and the rope starts falling down. Meanwhile, upstairs, having heard that thunderous boom, Ket just goes, definitely fuck, and moves from the wheel of the ship upstairs. Grace, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just rolled a Constitution check to see whether I keep my
Concentration.
Maximilian Earthen grasp up, and I rolled a natural 1. So
So
the like as the sound wave shivers through Ward, the echoes of it sort of whip through the ropes, and they just sort of like rip apart. Yeah.
Nice visual.
okay, so Liz has done that and just goes, seriously, be smart enough not to get in a fight on an airship in flight. It is now Mac's turn.
If you were looking for a smart fight, you found the wrong bunch of people. And I jump forward, and I'm just gonna all-out attack, I think. So I'm going to take the attack action, which means I can. I'm going to hit with my Warhammer. And do that. And that is a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
That hits. Okay, I'm going to hit again with my Warhammer. That's only a 14.
That misses.
That misses. Okay, but I can also, as a bonus action, fire my crossbow, my pistol crossbow. So I'm going to do that as well. And that is an 18.
Okay, so that's a hit, miss, hit.
Okay, cool. So let's do some damage. That is 8. Oh, that's good. So that's 10 from the Warhammer.
Okay.
And that's only a d6. So, oh, that's good. Still 5. So I rolled a 1. There's still 5 damage. So 15 damage in total.
Okay, yeah. You managed to injure Liz quite severely, just like because that's like one swift barrage basically of attacks. Do you want to move, and does Falchion do anything?
Falchion is going to no, because Falchion might use their reaction this time, so they will. I've used my bonus action, so I can't do too much with them, and they're going to remain where they are as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to remain where I am, so I'm in the thick of it.
Rudy.
So I'm also going to use the attack action. So I'm going to use reckless attack and get my advantage on my first attack. I'm also using 2 weapon fighting as I pull out my 2 canna blades.
Cool. Just double checking. Can you use reckless whilst not raging?
Yeah, it's a separate thing.
Cool, thank you.
So yeah, my 2 canna blades, and I want to basically just swipe at Liz with both of them.
Yep.
And then, as well as that, I get my extra attack. Which how far away is Holden?
Holden is probably around 20 feet away from you right now.
Cool.
Can I take a free action to speak, and sort of as I see you, like almost like a whirling dervish, like lashing out at Liz, just sort of, please, we need her alive to ask her questions.
Okay, roger that. So what I'd like to do is, if after trying to attack Liz with my 2 cannon knives, I'd like to move and then take a swipe at Holden with my maul. I actually know that'd be an attack of opportunity, wouldn't it?
Yes, she would get an attack of opportunity because you'd be moving out of her space.
Yeah. Okay, well, I
roll
won't
for
do
the
that.
attacks on Liz.
Yeah.
Kick off with that.
Yep. I mean, fine. All of the attacks on Liz. So, first one with advantage. Oh god, that was what are we? That was 16.
Just.
And yeah. Do I roll that? I roll the other one again as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
So the second one, the second canna, that's a 25. And then the maul. Oh, that's only a 12.
Maul misses, but the first 2, it's probably like the shift in weight from what you're wielding. But roll damage on those first 2 attacks.
So that is 9 and 6.
Okay. So that's 15 all in all, right?
Yes.
9 and 6. Okay. So, Liz is looking like, with these slashes and everything, Liz is bleeding. You've kind of cut like half of her hair off on one side and just looks an absolute mess. But Liz is clearly like quite battered and beaten up by everyone right now. It is Mook's turn.
Okay. How do you feel about like trying to knock Liz out without
If you say that this is I'm trying for non-lethal damage, then if you manage to take Liz to 0, then I will allow, like, you'll be knocking out. But if anyone else wants to do that, just make sure you announce before you make your attack, because I will not be assuming that you're aiming for that.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, if you get Liz down to 0, I will consider that Mukt is knocking her out.
In which case, I will pull out my rapier and walk towards Liz, and I guess like try and hit her over the head with the hilt or something.
Cool. Yeah, you're still like quite close. You have to use. Wait a minute. There is a lot of snake, which means that this is difficult terrain. You were knocked prone because you failed on your thunderwave save. So you have to use half of your movement to get up, and you are not going to have enough movement to even traverse the 10 feet that you were knocked back to get to Liz. What reach does your rapier have, actually? If it has a 5 foot, I think you've like just made it.
Yeah. I also, if I can't, I also have a dagger I can throw. But that would be if you don't think I would.
If you want to use the rapier, because it's got the 5 foot reach, I'm going to say you can, like, it's right at the end of your rapier, but you can still go with your rapier.
I hold the pointy bit of my rapier and try to.
It's like it'll be very Zorro-like. It'll just be like the gentlest nick that does this.
Okay, so I'll roll an attack. That was a 1.
It was coming. Too many 20s.
I did get 2 20s to be fair.
Yeah. That was a 1. I think because it was a 1.
So that was holding the pointy bit.
And Mook's probably not that used to not looking cool. You're the only one who fell over. All that kind of stuff. You're a bit thrown off your game. And so when you try and do this, your hands are slippy or sweating or something, and you drop your rapier. You haven't damaged it, but you'll have to you'll have to be able to pick it up and stuff next time, which will affect about attacking. Cool. Any bonuses you want to use?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm just going to say I do feel a little bit under the weather actually, and cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay, cool. Feel free to roll for that.
I will. It is a... Where's my D4?
I was going to say, since Psychic didn't do anything on my turn, can his reaction be to pick up the sword, the rapier?
Yes.
Cool.
Psychic now has the rapier in his mouth.
I heal 8.
Heal 8. Cool. Aoife.
Isn't it Ward before me?
Oh, sorry. It is Ward. Sorry.
Okay. Where is Holden now? Because he's just broken free of.
Yes.
Yeah, he grabbed a box, didn't he?
He currently has hold of a large cargo box, and he is at the base of the stairs at the other end of the deck. He hasn't had a chance to move yet because he won't go for a couple of turns.
Does it look like he's going to try and run up the stairs?
You're very insightful, so yes.
Chloe, I have a -2 to wisdom.
I thought you were quite insightful.
Dumbass. They think they're insightful. It's not the same as being insightful.
I think even someone who's quite stupid can...
I'm very intelligent, I just don't have very much common sense.
But yeah, I think it's quite obvious that it looks like Holden's going to go there. Vic?
Yes. Is there a snake between Holden and the stairs? Because I was kind of wrapped around them both.
The stairs come down into the centre of the... If you kind of imagine what ships are like with where their stairs are, they're not at the edge, so you're still wrapped around the sides.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Ward, Grace.
How far is it from where I'm stood to the stairs?
From where you're stood to the stairs, it's about 20 feet.
You see Ward, where they're in their sort of clunky, coppery form, sort of like glow very brightly in green and then vanish and appear on the stairs. And I'm going to use my bonus action to Misty Step onto the stairs and just put both hands across the stairs and say, "You're not going anywhere. We don't want to hurt you. We've overpowered you both."
Say the line.
Oh shit.
You.
Oh, oh shit! Yeah, I clang my staff on the ground. Yes, and says the copyrighted lines. Yes, yes. Jolkin, Rolkin, Tolkien doesn't fuck around with those things.
Holden can't think of a clever or witty retort, so doesn't say anything.
If he tries to get past me, I'm holding an action to use Green Flame Blade. So like where I've got both hands across, and like sliding out of Ward's hand is this long jagged blade that looks like it's been snapped down the length, and it's made out of this sort of coppery rune encrusted metal, the same as they are, and it just starts to light with this sort of green eldritch flame, and that's a sort of, they're just
Green
ready.
flame.
Yeah. if Holden tries to get past them, they are going to use it.
Okay.
Can I just say, I absolutely love Ward's aesthetic. It's just so cool.
In game.
In game and out of game. I think it's just the coolest yet.
It's round to you. It's Aoife's turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you allow me to? I want to use my tail, and I don't know where on a snake's body the tail begins, but in this case I'm using it as the end bit of the snake, the final few feet, as it were.
Uh-huh.
I would want to like whack the box out of Holden's hand and try and smash it on the ground.
Okay. So do you have something like a tail attack?
I don't think so. I think I just have attacks.
Okay, so
I have a constrict attack, and I have a bite attack. It feels like maybe constrict is like the one that uses the body.
True. That would be kind of like grabbing round. What I'd say is, if you want, you can try and constrict the box whilst Holden is holding it.
Yeah,
so almost
okay.
like trying to, yeah.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay, so if you can make, so normally the constrict is a strength.
It's an attack. It's one of the ones that I
Okay,
attack, and if I hit, then I can constrict. And then there's a DC to break it, but it's not to avoid being constricted.
Cool, let's use that for working with the box. So
11.
I'm afraid, no, maybe it's just there's a lot of different things in here. You trying to actually see what you're doing or what you're looking at is kind of tricky, and Holden is since Holden's not focusing on speaking, he is very much focusing on just like what is happening and what is near him.
Okay, can I use my movement to like get even like coil even tighter, making the space in the middle of me even smaller?
That's fair. I think there's like kind of a really nice visual of all those boxes that were pushed to the side in that thunder wave. Everything starts like moving in, like closer and closer around everyone. The walls are literally closing in on you.
Yeah. Imagine some of the boxes start to like buckle under the strength of the snake and that sort of thing, as like these crunching noises.
Yeah. And there's all these different sounds and stuff, and you can hear like some movement upstairs. With the loud sound of Ket starting to like run down because the sounds are now unavoidably of combat. It's Holden's go, and Holden just kind of like looks over to Liz. What do I? And because it's Liz's turn next, Holden doesn't do anything. Holden is simply kind of on the defensive, trying to figure out what to do, but still holding this box. Liz. Liz looks at Rudy, because Rudy seems to be the person who is in charge here, or at least like leading the charge. Liz turns, looks at you. Okay, how about this? In that box is something incredibly dangerous, and if we say something, it'll let that thing out of that box. So how about you just let us go about our business, or we will activate it. Okay?
That all depends what your business is. We still don't know.
Well, I think it's pretty fair to say it's not totally aligned with yours. But would you like to crash this ship now, or crash this ship later?
I'd prefer not to crash it at all, obviously.
Are those the only two options?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are your two options.
Sounds like that's your option.
Liz is going to try and intimidate you. That is what she's
Okay.
going to use her turn on. Liz rolls a natural 1.
Great. 10 out of 10.
Is that just because Rudy's like just not fazed by things?
Sorry?
Would you like? Is that more about how she's done it, or just because Rudy's never fazed by stuff?
I just think Rudy's not fazed by it, particularly because Liz is all beaten up and everything at the moment.
Yeah, Liz does not have a very intimidating appearance right now. Okay, Liz goes, there's 4 others of you. Are any of you smarter than that one?
The snake kind of goes,
Yeah. Yes.
And is like looking at each of you for just are any of you not going to go through with this plan?
What is in the box?
Why don't we find out then?
Oh,
And Liz and Holden looking each other dead in the eye, just because it's a free action to speak. They just say, "Hail the Queen of the Dead," and you hear this tiny magical sound like an arcane lock unlocking, and a ticking starts.
oh.
And that is where we are going to pause for our break in this session.
Okay.
Bugger it.
So
No.
we are going to pause for like 5-10
Oh.
minutes. Let everyone stew in the situation they found themselves in.
Damn you, Chloe.
God. Damn it.
And then we will pick up in just a second. So we will see you very soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Oh, that was great, Chloe.
Bye.
that's insane. So
Ticket.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess
Gosh.
a trigger warning for fear of snakes.
Yeah.
That's
And
fair.
ropes.
I love that. Snakes on a plane. / snake on a plane.
Like,
That's really cool.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Snake.
great. 10 out of 10.
Since it's a bit of a later one tonight, should we keep this to a tight 5? Is that all right with
Yep.
everyone?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
please
cool.
don't switch your cameras off, because then that'll rejig my stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm going to stop recording, and we'll be back in
Oh, yeah.
5 recap of what happened in the first half and where we're at. Everyone is on the bottom deck of an airship currently in flight. Aoife is a giant snake that is around the circumference of that deck and slowly closing in, pulling all the boxes and people closer together. 2 NPCs on there have just said the code to undo an arcane lock, which has set basically a form of bomb in motion. I think that's generally it. They seem to not be on the same side as you and are now being quite open about it. And the pilot of this ship has had to abandon the wheel, having heard thunder waves and such like, and is currently careening down the stairs to get to all of you. We left it at the moment that this machine started going off. You started hearing a ticking sound from inside this box. You can't see what's inside it yet, but it is now max go.
What is that mysterious ticking noise? It's not over here, not over there.
Pipe bomb. Yay!
Did the box change in any way? Did it open? Did it do anything? Or did it...
No, it would seem that whatever they've activated is something that is simply inside this wooden cargo box. That there may be a box in a box.
Okay. I think Holden's like the dumbass of this team, right? So is how injured is Liz at this point? How
Liz is still able to like kind of stand sturdy on her feet, but she does look severely injured.
Okay.
You'd kind of think that like a really solid whack from Rudy, or maybe from you, would do it.
Okay.
But it would have to be a couple of really solid whacks in your experience as a agent.
Okay. All right. Because I think I'm going to do that, because I think if we put down Liz, then we have a better chance of convincing Holden to do something ridiculous with this ticking time bomb that he is holding.
Okay.
So we are going to try this. Oh, that is my first natural 20 of the evening.
Yes.
Oh God, let's go.
So that's going to be good. You double the damage on that, don't you? Oh, the second one's that's like way low. That's like 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to shoot her as well. Go on.
Okay. I'm just checking. I know that I said you needed to announce this beforehand, but because we've had a break since then, I want to check. Are you trying to kill Liz, or are you trying to knock Liz out?
I am not. Liz just started a bomb on an airship. I am not trying to knock Liz out. Okay.
Fair.
Valid.
So yes, sorry. What's the damage?
So we are D8. So I'll roll 2 of those. That's why I have the second one here. Okay, 7 and 9 is thing, and I add. He says he's on actions, spells on actions. And I only had 1, so 13 damage with the warhammer.
Okay. That's a solid hit. Like teeth go flying, and such like. And Liz is swaying, but probably has gone been knocked down to her knees, but she is still up.
Okay, so I have one left because the one missed, so I'm going to shoot her as well. So that was 17 with the crossbow.
Yep, that will hit.
Okay, so I get awesome damages because it's +4. So and so that is 9 more damage. So
what does this look like?
Well, I want to do it so that the swing maybe hits her like under the chin and pushes her head up, and then I just through the head.
Through the head. Okay, that just and her body just Pam, just in case because Liz was a persona, so I believe does a changeling go back to their normal appearance when they die? Okay, I think they do. So basically what happens is it's this hit to the head throws back, and then still wearing the same clothes but just like a pallid grey skinned person, and there's no sleeve, but there is just that dragon mark on their arm, and this body of a person you've never seen before technically, is splayed out on the floor. And
I point my hammer at Holden and I say, the same thing's going to happen to you unless you get rid of that bomb off this airship.
Pav.
Just as a question, like, do we recognize the dragon mark as being like in relation to any group or anything like that, as dragon marks often are?
From like looking at it currently, it's not a recognizable one. A lot of dragon marks, regardless of the house that they're from, start in the same shape. And then as they grow, they can, and some change shape. There are aberrant dragon marks that are not related to a house, so you're not able to identify a house connection from it. It is root. Okay, so you've done that, and you've said that to Holden.
Yeah.
Who is just kind of, at the moment, just like his namesake, Holden, the box, and Rudy. It's your go.
Rudy and Psychic go over to Holden, and Rudy just looks him in the eye and goes, "You got one chance to hand that over." And does he respond?
Just staring back, and you can't quite tell whether it's fear, whether it's determination, whether it's a mix of both. But doesn't say anything, just holds tight.
Okay. In that case, Sidekick kind of sidles up to his feet and just like touches a paw, and mechanically I cast Shocking Grasp through Sidekick, but
nice.
This is Sidekicks. I'm dressing it as this is a thing that Sidekick can do, can electrocute people.
Okay.
So that's a natural 20.
Wow.
So that's 24.
Okay, so we'll be doubling that damage dice.
So then it's a 2d8, which that's an 8. And that's a 6. So doubling both?
Doubling both. Did you only roll a chromatic orb at your level? Isn't that 4d8?
It's not chromatic orb. Shocking Grasp.
Shocking Grasp.
Yeah.
Oh, so
it's a touch spell, which it has to be if you're going through a familiar. That was
roll those dice again, since you got 20.
Yeah.
Another 6 and a 5, so 12, 25 damage.
Ouch.
My God. Oh my God. Holden is looking at you and just, does it look like electricity, like passing from Sidekick? How does it look?
It's literally just an electric shock, so it doesn't look like electricity. He kind of goes stiff. Yeah. I'm hoping that he drops the box, since I rolled a natural 20. I
will roll for him to hold on to the box at disadvantage, because I think that's
cool. That's fair
in terms of like physically being able to do that.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's a 9, and that's a 4. So Holden does drop the box, just and like kind of flexing his fingers as though the communication between them and his brain isn't working.
Can Rudy's bonus action then be catching the box? Does that work?
You haven't used your bonus action in terms of controlling Sidekick, telling Sidekick what to do?
Nope. My action was casting the spell through, or telling Sidekick to do the Shocking Grasp, but I haven't used a bonus action.
Okay, what I'm going to say is, just because it's happening so quickly and in such close quarters, and like you're quite tall, like Holden's not even as tall as you, so it would be going quite. But it
okay,
just,
that's fair.
It's on the ground, like there's a bit of a cracking of wood beneath it, but it's obviously quite heavy. And Holden is like actually probably just, again, similar to Liz, down onto his knees. Looks like he's on the absolute edge of consciousness. right now. And it is Mukt's go.
How far am I from this box?
You were right over with Liz, weren't you?
Yeah, so wherever Rudy's just come from,
about
I'm
20
like
feet away.
around. Okay. So I can move and it's difficult terrain. Does that mean that I move half?
Yes, because there's still a lot of snake.
Okay. Can I use my action and my movement to dash 60 feet, half to 30?
Yep.
And then use a bonus action, or like basically what I want to do is like pick up the box and then run 10 feet up the stairs. Or I don't know at what point it stops becoming difficult terrain, and then maybe I can run more than that.
That's totally fine. Basically, the difficult terrain stops like near the base of the stairs. So,
okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Were there two sets of stairs?
Yeah, there are two sets of stairs. There's one kind of by anyone who's by Liz's body.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm blocking one of them. Like being sort of narratively honest, I'm blocking one of the.
Yes,
I was
you're
blocking
the
the
one
one.
that's actually going up. So,
yeah, you're right. You are.
But you're only going up like a couple of steps and stuff. So basically, Mukt is just underneath Ward on those stairs.
Got you.
Okay.
Yes.
And coincidentally, as you're going up those stairs, Ket, the pilot that you met earlier, is coming down the other stairs at the other end where Liz is. And just starts like runs down, sees Liz is dead. Right, what's happening?
Can I ask, did Ket know that Liz was a changeling and a shapeshifter? Because it's not Liz on the floor. That's all I'm saying.
It's not Liz, no. Right now I'm going to use the name Liz. I'm going to use they them pronouns because you never found out the name of the changeling. But like from Ket's reaction, you guess that she is not familiar with this changeling or with the fact that Liz was a changeling posing as Liz. And actually, as Ket comes down, is saying this, but is also carrying like a massive sword and slightly unsure of what's happening, like swinging it in the general vicinity, saying, "What's happening?"
I say to Ward, darling, how do those holes work that you were in before?
Well, I don't have the hole, but I think it's like an alternate, a different dimension, and
should we put this in the hole?
But I think if you sort of pulled it out and then maybe got it in there, even though time is obviously really of the essence right now.
What is happening? Just like as you're having this little chat, Ket is just ready is going to ready in action. And it looks like she is ready to attack anyone who seems like a threat because it's really not clear right now who is. Ward, it is your go. Just to note though, because of your plan, the portable hole is with Aoife.
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask something. I am still telepathically linked to Mukt for the last an hour. Would you say that talking telepathically counts as a free action?
It doesn't say, like, in your ability that it's an additional action to talk telepathically. It's just the action to activate the ability. So I'm happy for you to be able to talk telepathically.
I think, Mukt, you hear in your head, "Give me the fucking box!"
Cool, but it's Ward's go.
Okay. I'm going to look up to Ket, who's just come down the stairs. And I think there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding between who is working for whomst. I think you have got some infiltrators as part of your crew. We are attempting to subdue them peacefully. So one of them dead on the floor and the other sort of like buggled. There is, however, now a bomb. And what I'm going to try, who has the bomb? The bomb's on the floor at the minute. You have the bomb.
Mukt has grabbed it.
You didn't say out loud that to get the box to you, so I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
What I would like to try and do is grab a Holden. And
Okay.
grapple him.
You'll be kind of just like, yeah, you'll be going past Mukt, but you're on the same side, etc. Like neither one of you is going to try and block the other.
Yeah. So I'm just going to sort of reach around and go, but now that's stopped, and sort of just try and put both hands.
Okay, make me an athletics check.
Am I the first wizard ever to make an athletics check? That is a 14, because I'm one of those wizards that gets a +4 to athletics.
I wish this was more of an achievement for you, but mine's an 18.
Dang it.
Apologies. Again, Holden, I think it's also because like Holden has gone to his knees and is a little bit of a smaller target to get to, but just like scrambles, is on the floor scrambling to get away from you. So manages to slip out. Do you have a bonus you'd like to use?
No.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Aoife.
Okay, Aoife's going to the snake's going to constrict more and more, and as it gets closer, use a bonus action. Eva's going to turn back into herself.
Okay.
In the center of the room. I'm kind of standing at the bottom of the stairs. Because I'm sort of everywhere, so...
The stairs where Holden is, or the stairs where Ket is?
Where Mukt is.
Okay, so where Holden, Mukt, and Morda. Cool.
I'm going to take out the hole, and then I'd like to go and get the box off Mukt and put it in the portable hull.
You might be back to yourself, but I think you're still big.
In which case I will reach up one of my very long arms with the hole and get the other one and go.
Yeah, if you're big, like your head is kind of scraping the ceiling and stuff. It's a little bit uncomfortable and awkward.
Very Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This.
Yeah. It's about to. I think it's about to run out because it lasts for a minute. So it lasts for 6 rounds.
10 rounds a minute.
10 rounds.
So we're still good for a little while. Okay.
Can I just thank you.
It's not quite Mukt's turn yet. So
can I use this Can I use that just to take the box off him though? With my super hench strength that I currently have because I'm huge.
You've had to use the hull.
Okay.
Like as in you've kind of, I'm taking it as you've manipulated an object, you've used an object, so you've used your bonus to get out. You've got the portable hull ready. It's then Holden's go. And looking around, he's kind of seeing how stuff's unfolding, quite literally with the whole aperture, and stares at everyone and just. Right, this could have been easier. Fine. And looks Ket dead in the eye, and is going to make an attack. Oh god, that is a 20, which is gonna hit. And you just see this kind of strange rippling orb of energy. As again, it normally is camouflaged, but this kind of dragon mark just starts spreading across the forehead, and pulsing. You're suddenly aware that it's there, and this orb just goes the length of the deck, slams straight into Ket, and it's acid damage. It's like nasty and it's gnarly. And so this is 4d8 damage on Ket, 13, and that is 20. Ket staggers back as this just like splashes and cascades over her, and you see it like kind of having eaten away at her clothes, like this has gone and this has gone, and like there's just, she's soaked with like this acid energy that then just kind of like evaporates magically. This is something that I should have done actually with Liz, but I forgot to. But whenever Holden casts an innate spell, any creature within 10 feet of him needs to make me a Constitution saving throw. So believe that's Ward, Mukt, Aoife. Had Mac walked up there, or is Mac?
I don't think Mac.
I think Mac and Rudy are still at the other end where Kess is. Cool. So if the rest of you,
Rudy's right up next to Holden.
Sorry, yeah, Rudy. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone but Mac.
Yeah.
Please roll me a console. And
so Rudy, that's a 23.
Cool. Could you also roll for sidekick?
Yes, sure.
That's a 15 for Ward.
15.
I doubled last time, so it's a 4.
Now, now Falchion would roll because Falchion would be close enough.
Okay.
So let's roll that.
Oh wow.
That's a 5.
So sidekick gets a 1.
Anyone got less than a 12? Oh, sorry, Aoife.
Yeah, I'm not a giant snake anymore, so I rolled an 11.
Anyone who gets less than a 12 takes 5 points of force damage. And anyone who got more than a 12 takes 2 points of force damage. As this kind of rippling energy just cascades out of Holden. And not going to move because aware of attacks of opportunity. And it looks like it's taking almost all of his energy just to do this. And just goes like, you shouldn't have made it this hard. It could have been easy. It could have been simple. And it is Max go.
Sorry, can I just say that small amount of that sidekick had 1 hit point, so sidekick like flips into collapses into like a little small round disc, flat disc, that then flies through the air and attaches to the like goggle headset that I have.
That's neat. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, sidekick just. Matt.
I see.
Where is the bomb? Is it yet in the hole?
Mukt is currently holding it. It's just about the hole. It will, we've got 2 people. We've got Rudy, and then it goes to Mukt. And so once it goes to Mukt, then.
Okay, but it's a free action to speak. So I'm going to say, is it heavier than 10 pounds?
From you holding it, it feels, unfortunately, I'm so sorry, it is heavier than 10 pounds.
Shame.
It's
a shame.
a hench bomb.
There you go.
Okay.
Hench bomb.
Hench bomb.
Like big bombs when I come out there.
In which case, who's holding the hole right now? Because that won't be heavier than. That won't be. Is that lighter than 5 pounds even?
Yeah, I'd say it's and Eric's is a good mage, right? Like. It's gonna be lightweight. It's gonna be portable, etc.
Yeah, it's like you can hold it with one hand.
It's not a portable hole if it's not lightweight, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna say, just let go of the hole because it can't be carried. So just let go, and then I'm going to try and fling the hole using catapult over the bomb.
We're gonna die.
So you're gonna try. Okay, let me just check something here. Box.
So rather than getting the bomb into the hole, I'm gonna try and get the hole over the bomb.
The box is currently being carried by Mukt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's being held. So you can kind of do like a hoopla, but it will be awkwardly half in, half out.
Oh, okay. I thought the box was on the ground. I thought it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's currently being held.
Okay. In which case, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to.
You're not going to play
into the hole.
You're going to trap Mukt in the hole.
I'm going to die
with the bomb. With the bomb.
I breathe. I just say I breathe.
Everyone's being very dramatic here. There is 10 minutes of air in the hole.
Yeah. You'd be fine.
But
you'd be fine as long as the bomb did go off.
You don't know how many seconds there is until that goes off. Maybe it's not about the amount of minutes of air in the hole, but seconds until the bomb detonates. Anyway, back to Matt.
Quite.
I am going to hold my action if I'm assuming people are going to try and make a marriage of hole and bomb. If that doesn't happen, I'm holding catapults to try and make the same thing happen. Okay.
Okay, absolutely. Rudy / G.
Rudy's pissed off the Holden heart sidekick, frankly.
Yeah.
So just isn't gonna rage because there's too many people close by, but is just gonna swing twice my attack and extra attack with my maul.
Is lethal or non-lethal?
I think non-lethal.
Okay.
Can I just interject for a second? Can I just say that I don't know if Ket has anything ranged, but Ket held their action in case they got attacked, and was definitely attacked.
Ket had her longsword.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So was very much didn't think that
Yeah.
people were going to be using like ranged with magic spells in the cargo ship of in the cargo hold of an airship. So unfortunately, because it was ranged, just swinging with a longsword. But good point.
Yeah. No worries.
Cool. So yes, attacking twice with my maul. So that one's 25, and that one's 19.
Ouch.
Right. He's
Whack-a-mole.
got 2
Both
hit
hit?
points.
Sorry.
He's got 2 hit points. So
One.
Well, I mean, should I bother rolling the damage because it's 2d6 plus 4?
you will.
So I'm knocking him out.
You said non-lethal.
Yeah.
How are you gonna you've got such heavy weapons?
Yeah.
How does Rudy control this to make sure it just?
So with just using one hand, takes one swipe at one of his legs. I just kind of knocks that out from under him.
Yeah.
So that I'd sort of knock him down on, so he's on all fours basically, and then just swipe back and just clock him across the side of the head.
Yeah.
And he rolls onto his back unconscious.
Yeah, just kind of tumbling back into a couple of boxes, and just laying there, knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Liz / the changeling has been killed. Holden is knocked out. It is now Much's go. Much, you are holding the box that has something inside it that is ticking.
Yep. I drop the box in the hole.
So
You don't want to tip the box out into the hole so we see a flash of the bomb as it.
I don't want to risk. I don't know what this. I'm just gonna.
we'll do a cinematic cut too, because I'm not going to spend a significant amount of time designing a bomb and then not allow any description of it.
Particularly since we already killed the one person that knows about how it works.
Yeah, great.
What about the explainer threat? There was going to be an explainer threat.
Oh.
I did think about that.
So, you drop it in, and it's in the hole.
It's done.
Yep.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I do have.
Great.
So, Aoife, you're just holding it there. Mux, is there anything you want to do after that?
Yeah, I think just to kind of make sure that everyone knows whose side they're on, I'm gonna healing word second level Ket, who just took some damage.
Cool.
Ah, thank you. How much does Ket get back?
Ket gets back 7 plus 5, 12.
Awesome.
And that's why they're the bard.
Exactly.
Very good.
Thanks. Just shouted hesitantly, still not quite sure because a lot has happened in the less than 6 seconds that Ket has been here. It is actually Ket's turn. Right. The Sovereign. What? What?
Where the hell did you find this crew?
Ket is processing. Ward, I am keeping it in initiative order for now. You will see in a moment why.
Perhaps you should close that. Perhaps you should close the hole. I'm going to just sort of, I've seen you do this. I'm just going to sort of Hmm.
And you just putting your hands out like.
I am going to close it, but it's not my turn initiative yet.
Your turn is directly after Ward.
Yeah.
Should I know you just got this new toy, Aoife. Should we consider just dropping it off the side of the ship? It seems very very dangerous.
Absolutely not. Eric's made this for me, and he'd be very offended if I tossed it over because I didn't have trust in his craftsmanship. This is actually this is a different plane inside here.
Yes, I mean Eric's. They would be quite upset probably if you destroyed their present, but probably worse if we all died.
We're not going to die. It's a separate plane. It would be bad if we were in the hole with the box. But we're not in the hole, we're outside of the hole, the box is in the hole, and the hole will be fine.
Chloe, may I, as I haven't taken an action, though I have spurted a lot of nonsense this round,
yes,
may I make an Arcana check to, as I have studied magic and played such bullshit, to see whether I think that we will be safe with the bomb in the portable hole, and whether that
make me an Arcana roll.
That's okay. That's a 19.
19. So you know from your knowledge of magic and the arcane that portable holes, you put something in there, obviously if there's a person in there or a creature in there, they only have so much breath and such like, and that someone can get out of a portable hole if they're inside with strength checks. However, you've put a bomb in there. You don't know what is in that hole. So provided it's just a bomb, then that's fine. You don't currently know, all you know is about how portable holes work, and that's how that works. So it's up towards judgment on, is that safe?
Eva, I just don't have all the variables that I would need to make a sound judgment on whether I think this is safe, and I just don't think that it's worth it taking everybody's lives at risk. Can we please tip it across? None of you listened to me so far, and I understand that, and it keeps going on.
And then it goes.
Okay, Ward, I hear you. I'll be a happy medium. I would like to take my staff, and I would like to. Is there like a deck? On this ship, is there a deck?
There's the top deck, like you're on the bottom, and then there's the middle with the like sleeping quarters and food, and then there's the top deck.
Okay, what I would like to do is I would like to go up to the deck and hold my staff over the edge of into the open air and cast Entangle on my staff, so that all the vines sort of creep up it and dangle off into the air. That's 20 foot. So it's like 20 foot reach down, and I'd like to tie the portable hole up in the vines and then hang it over the side of the ship like a big fishing rod, so that if it does blow up, it's not on the boat.
Okay,
it's only
so
20 foot down.
Entangle isn't necessarily like a 20 foot reach of the actual vines. It's a 20 foot area that they grow from.
Thinking about it, there was a lot of rope down there, huh?
There was a ton of rope.
Yeah, I might just do that. I might just tie up in some rope.
I'm going to try and get some rope if you'd like to.
Can I have some rope, please, Mutt, from your box of ropes?
I mean, I permit you to take some. I haven't got any on me right now, but yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't own. It's like it's the ship's rope, not my rope.
Yeah, okay. I'll just tie the hole to some rope, just scooch it up, and then just toss it over the side, and just sort of just wait for the bomb to go off.
Okay, so right now you're on the lower deck. So since we're still technically in initiative, you can totally get some rope, tie it to the hole. I will allow that. If we were to cut to inside that hole and inside the box inside that hole, we would see a metal box with one side that is clicking because it looks like clockwork with a small hole in it. And if we were to look even inside that, we'd see that there is a hole that it is just about to line up with. And there is something in the box that you've got maybe 6 seconds. You don't know that, but we watching do, before that hole lines up and something can get out. So that's cutting to that, and then we come back to the bottom deck. You've tied some rope to it. It is now Max go. However, you can't hear ticking. You don't have anything. Aoife's obviously got a plan. What would you like to do with your turn?
Is this me?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Where are we taking it?
I was going to sort of throw it over the side of the ship,
Okay.
so that, you know, if anything happens, then it goes poof and it falls off. But but there's a way to retrieve it if that does happen, because, like I say, it's a really nice portable hull, and it would be a shame to lose it this early in the mission.
Can I, because it's my turn, I want to run by you, grab the staff, if that's okay. I say, I'll take it. And I run and I dash to try and get as far as I can to the top.
That stuff was part of my initiation to my... Okay, no, bye. Oh, I'll get kicked out of the tribe if I don't get that back.
Cool. So you were nearest... are you going up the stairs that Mukt is still on? There's also the free stairs that Ket is at the base of.
Whatever's closest. Whichever's closest.
Cool. To the hole, it'll be the one that Mukt's on. So you can kind of like... And yeah, with Dash... I'll say that you're able to get like halfway up the stairs up to the top deck, so you're up onto the middle and then up. Rudy, is there anything you'd like to do? I mean, you've just seen Mac run off, and with what seems to be the only threat left.
No, I don't think so. Like, yeah, no, there's nothing much to do.
Cool. I mean, you've got a knocked out Holden. You've always got.
I tie his hands behind his back, and I'm assuming there's like a post or something. So I do that. I kind of drag him over to a pillar, a post, and arms around the post, and then tie them up behind him.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely will allow that you'll do that. You're able to take a bit more time now, so I won't make you roll for exactly how well you do that, because you probably learnt your lesson since it's how it went the first time. Mukt.
Mukt is going to walk over to the changeling body and look for clues, particularly any shiny clues.
Shiny clues, cool. Roll me investigation.
That is a 18.
Okay, so 18 on investigation. There's only a couple of pockets on their clothing. You find most of them to be strangely, like, conspicuously empty. Like, there's not even lint or whatever. This is someone who has been very careful about what they do and don't have on them. Additionally, you do find two things. One is a Featherfall token, like a standard one. You recognise it, you live in Sharn. It would cast Featherfall if the person holding it was to fall. And in another pocket, you find a small kind of, it's like a golden necklace, small gold chain necklace, and on the end is what looks like a green, you might say an emerald claw. That is what you find. It is
that is a shiny clue.
It is a shiny. Yeah, Monk's got a shiny. Ket, kind of seeing that you at least are dealing with this, but Mac is just running with things, is also going to dash back up the stairs that she's at the bottom of, and just kind of is out of breath, would shout things, but is focusing on running up, and is basically level with you but on the other stairs, so we can just see you both as you're heading up there.
Okay.
Ward.
I would like to run after Mac as well, please.
Okay.
And run and see what is happening.
Absolutely.
I know that there is something made of metal that is very dangerous in the portable hull.
Yes.
I can't see it. Has Mac thrown it over the side yet, or has he not done that yet?
No. Mac has not yet got up to the top deck. He is halfway up the top set of stairs.
Okay. So I can only get as far as that, can't I?
Yeah, dashing you can get right up next to him.
Okay. Bugger. That's all I can do. So I'll keep up with him.
Okay. Aoife.
Well, yes, my staff's just been stolen, so I'm going to run after that. Like, it wasn't really stolen. Like, she didn't try and grab it back. She was just like, oh, God, okay.
Cool. So basically half of everyone is just running up these stairs, whilst a couple of you are currently with either the dead body or the unconscious person. Okay, so Matt, we come back to you. Is Mac just again pegging and gonna try and?
Oh yeah. Well, because the plan seems to be to just hoink this thing over the side and then see what happens when it's inevitably something happens. So
sure.
That is what I'm trying to do.
You can using your movement, you can get up to the top deck. It's now really dark outside. There's a couple of ever bright lanterns that are basically swinging from some poles on the top of the ship, but it's become nighttime during that fight and during those events, so it's incredibly dark, and you can see a few 1,000 or so feet below you, the outlines of a ground, but you're now over these wide open plains, and the moon is in the sky. You can hold it out.
I hold it out in my so it's just on one piece of rope, right, that got tied onto the staff. So I hold my force crossbow to the rope in case anything crazy happens, so that at least I can just one-shot it and the rope will go.
Cool. Okay. Is that you ready in action? Because you basically used your movement just to go like this. But I guess if you've had to get your crossbow.
Yeah. Well, I would have. Yeah. I would have been holding my crossbow anyway, because I would have grabbed the staff, so I would have had to put my hammer away. But yeah, if it just took my movement to get to the top and put this thing over the side, then I'm readying an action just in case.
Okay, cool. Rudy.
Yeah. I think having seen Mucht finding stuff on Liz's body, start searches Holden's pockets.
Okay, roll me investigation.
Ooh, that's not bad considering. 12.
Cool. I'd say with that, it's a lower DC because you've seen someone take a couple of specific items, and equally there's no ID, there's nothing else you'd expect to find on someone, no bits and pieces, no errata. There is just this necklace with a claw on the end and a feather token.
Right. Cool. I pocket the feather token, obviously.
Nice. Yes, please do make a note of that fact.
Yeah.
Pav, it's Mucht's turn.
Okay. Feeling like Mucht knows where this might go next, I try to take the body of the changeling. How big is the changeling compared to me?
They're about the same size as you.
Okay, great. In which case, I take mental note of what Liz looked like, and then I take the body with the clothes to a private area of the deck in order to do a clothes swap. But I don't know how much of that is possible in one action.
Cool. What I'm going to say is that there is a private area, because I said that there were some hammocks with things over. What I'm going to say is about because of the nature of what you're doing of removing the clothes, and it's a dead body, we're going to draw a veil. We're just going to say that happens. And you will have Liz's clothes, but that all happens privately. Okay, so then it's Ket, who again is just running up to Mac. Okay, so what's in? What are you doing? Why are you fishing?
There's a bomb in the hole.
Is that like a safe? What? A bomb?
We have a portable hole, and there's a bomb in it. I'm holding it over the side so it doesn't destroy the ship if it goes off.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand that now. I think I get that. Okay, good job. The Sovereign. Ward, you've been following Mac.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've run up alongside Mac, keeping fairly good pace with him, and I'm just sort of like doing the very dramatic lean over the side of the ship. If I had hair, it'd be blowing in the wind. Damn it! I don't. My coat is blowing in the wind, and it looks very dramatic.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of wind. You've got the air elemental around the ship, and it's sailing off. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm going to look very intensely at the portable hole on the end of the rope, and you see sort of this like shimmering arcane energy start to sort of like funnel out of the ports on the side of their torso and sort of shimmer through their hands. And I'm going to prepare a 3rd level shatter if it looks like anything is coming out of the hole and will affect us.
Cool.
And I'm also obviously going to position it so that it's not going to hit the ship.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
I'm not a complete person here.
Yeah. What's the kind of radius of shatter?
The range on shatter is 60 foot. The radius of it is 10 foot.
Okay,
so it
that's cool. Yeah, you can definitely angle
ship.
that so that it's not going to damage the ship. Vic, Aoife was following as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Aoife has loads of hair. Check the character portrait. So I'm also going to stand on the side, braid flowing back in the wind. And I'm probably not going to ready a spell because I don't want to waste them if nothing happens. But I will have kind of Aoife sort of staring intently. Can I hold my action if something comes up?
Yeah, absolutely. What action do you want to hold?
I will say I'm gonna hold a wild shape.
Okay. And is the trigger something coming out of the hole?
Yes.
Okay. So, just to kind of recap where we are, basically, we've got a couple of people tending to the dead and the unconscious, and we've got 4 of you: Ward, Aoife, Mac, and Ket, the ship's pilot. That you are just all kind of currently focused on this airship that is just going through the night sky on this hole that is suspended by rope from a staff, with all of you various little kind of magical auras like sparking in the air as you watch and you are ready in case something happens. Inside the hole, if we were to look inside the hole, if we were to look inside the box inside the hole, if we were to look inside the box that's inside the box that's inside the hole, we would see that this click, 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 click of this clockwork lines up, and suddenly there is a 1-inch hole that is in the top of the box, and something emerges from that. I need to check the hole. Because it's got rope tied to it, you've not been able to fully close it. Is that fair? You hadn't like tried to actually close the hole because you're just holding.
Oh no, I had in my mind I had sealed the hole. And
okay,
then I
so it's just kind of bound round in like a square formation. In that case, something comes out of that, and I'm gonna need to make a strength save.
I think it's a check rather than a save.
I
know it makes a difference, but
to be honest, it's an 18 on the dice.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
It's a DC of 10.
Yeah, it's a 10 DC. And so I don't know if any of you have seen this before, those of you who are on the deck of this ship. But suddenly what starts to come out, and I know that there's a lot of things that are going to be triggered by this, is what looks almost like a living lightning bolt that just suddenly emerges. Like you can't see it on one side of the hole, but just pouring out on one side of this hole is this living lightning bolt just streaming out of it, lighting up the night sky. And I'm going to go through in order. It's Mac, and then it is Ward, then it is Aoife with your readied actions.
So I'm assuming from my arcane knowledge, I know this is a living spell. Is that right?
I think that's fair. You've also got a lot of experience with the line, and so stuff like this you would be slightly more familiar with. I'd also say that Aoife, because you have a history with the Mournlands, which is where a lot of these things, like, you would be experienced with that kind of thing or aware. Ward, it's kind of up to you in terms of experience. You can also roll for it if you want.
Is this something that I might have seen in the war?
it's not something that necessarily would have just been used in combat. It was more something warped that came out of events in the war.
Can I roll for it then?
Yeah, absolutely.
History?
And I've not forgotten it's Mac's turn, but just so we know where everyone is with this. You probably also, anyone else hears it. Hears like this crackle suddenly come into play somewhere outside the ship.
And Aoife's hair, like where it's blowing in the wind, just starts like rising on end.
Has Ward ever seen something like this before?
A 13 on the roll, so I might maybe have heard of something, but I've certainly never seen anything.
You've never seen one of these, like, in real life. Okay, so Mac.
So I just have a quick.
Oh yeah, go on.
Sorry. You said that Aoife would know what this is because of the Mournlands, but Vic does not know what this is. So.
it's very much like what Matt said. It's a living spell. So it's lightning bolt, but because of magical things that happened during the last war, the warping and distortion of magic, magical experiments, all that happened in that kind of cataclysm of creating the Mournlands, there are some spells like Burning Hands and such like that have taken living independent form of casters. So they don't need a caster to exist, they just are.
Okay.
And that is what you're currently witnessing pouring out of this hole.
And would I know, are they like a one and done kind of thing, or are they going to keep going until we stop it?
Probably going to keep going.
So my question is, it's clawing its way out of the bag. Do I think if we lose the bag at this point, we lose the living spell?
Can you please roll me a Arcana check on living spells?
I'm
Okay.
going to lose my motherfucking portable hole, aren't
I
I?
know, I'm sorry. It's 12.
12. You're not sure. You can't.
I shoot the rope.
You shoot the rope. I'm gonna allow that. Obviously, there's a bit of a shift because, like, it was ready for if anything came out, but I'll allow. Can you please make me an attack roll on the rope?
Sure. Okay, 7.
For what it's worth, I thought that was the readied action.
I thought that was the ready
sorry.
action too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
was, yeah.
Chloe misunderstanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. If anything crazy happened with the bag, I was basically just going to shoot the rope so the bag went away. So,
Yeah.
Fear.
Sorry.
So that's 22.
22. Okay, roll me some damage. It's most likely you are going to do enough damage, but just to check.
Okay, so that is 7.
7. So is that with your forced crossbow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it rips through the rope immediately, and Aoife, Ward, Ket, all see this, rips through the rope. The hull starts to fall not just down but backwards because it no longer has the propulsion of the ship, so it's like tumbling back and away into the sky. But this living lightning bolt can fly. The Arcana roll wasn't quite high enough to know that, and it is just.
Well,
so
I'm really glad we lost the magical item for a good reason, huh?
So
Yeah, the hull is tumbling down, but the lightning bolt is just still coming and just about keeping pace with the ship for the moment, because it's a fraction of a second right now. It would be Ward's readied action next, but I'm aware like a lot has just happened.
Yeah. So before anything else happens, as I shoot the rope, I say, "These things Eric's made for us are amazing, right?"
Yes, Mac.
Oh dear.
So
I would like the living thunderbolt, Chloe, to make a Constitution saving throw.
okay, the living lightning bolt will make a Constitution saving throw. That is a 14.
It does not save. Chloe, would you say that a lightning bolt is inorganic material?
I'm gonna say that it's organic because it is a living lightning bolt.
That's fair. I knew I was stretching it.
That's fine.
Cool. So, that's bogus damage. Oh, it's okay. It's not too bad. I thought there was a 1. that's 17 points of thunder damage as
Ooh, ouch.
Ward sort of like slaps their hands together, and this ring of arcane energy, like a force field, sort of like ripples out and smacks into the lightning bolt. And I can imagine that like a shiver goes through as the energy like passes through, and it turns green and then goes back to like the white blue.
That's very cool. What was the damage on that?
17.
Cool. I remember it does actually have
thunder,
advantage on saving throws against magic, but I tried again and it was worse. So
okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that ripple happens. Aoife.
Well, I was holding a wild shape, but none of my wild shapes can fly, so I can't go get my hold.
If you hold the wild shape and don't... Oh, no, because it's not like a spell, it's a thing. Sorry, continue.
I think I'm just going to have to leave that. I will use instead my tailed action to glare.
Yeah, it looks like it's an atmospheric as hell glare. You're glaring at nighttime on a windy ship with being lit by electricity, etc. It's atmospheric.
If the conditions for your held action are met, does it not automatically happen? Because I thought it did.
What I'd say is the difficult thing of like, because it's holding a wild shape, and because there were 3 people holding held actions, the circumstances like change so quickly that I'm happy that in that case,
okay.
Otherwise,
cool.
yeah, because it was 3 and we've had a lot of change. Good glaring. So we've got Ket. After Aoife, it is the lightning bolt's turn. It's been dragged away, and it is just going to try and come and swoop back at the things that are moving, the things that seem to be living, the things that are drawing its attention. I am going to roll a d4, because there are 4 of you. So you can't see me pointing, but it's like 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, 4. You are all so lucky. Ket is not.
The pilot of the ship.
So, going to try and hit with a magical strike. It also has multi-attack, so 2 magical strikes. That is a 17. That is a 15. And let me just check Ket's stuff. Damn it. Okay. So basically what you see is this lightning bolt. It's traveling slightly slower than the ship, so it's basically catching up to the closest individual to it, most likely, and just straight through, just like looping through Ket's body. And that is, that's a lot of d6s. That's quite a lot of d6s. That is 7. That is 7 plus 14. So that is... Sorry, I'm having to do a lot of maths on attacking myself.
Wow.
And you see this whip through Ket, and you see like the moment that the lightning bolt leaves Ket's body, and Ket's body falls to the deck of this ship. Mac, it is your turn. Rudy and Mukt, we will come back to you in the next round, just because there was a lot there happening.
No, that.
Yeah, and Ket just...
Ket drops. What happens to the lightning bolt? Does the lightning bolt
still there?
Still there.
Yeah. But it's you can see that like just after doing that, it's kind of erratic because it hasn't gone, I've got a game plan here. But it is just attack the nearest moving thing.
Okay. Wow.
So I know that's a lot.
I'm going to use my movement then to push Aoife out of the way.
Will you let that happen, Aoife?
I mean, which way am I being pushed?
So that I'm between you and the lightning.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I'll let that happen.
Cool.
Okay.
Least you can do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Drop the hole.
Well, you've still got the staff, haven't you?
I've still got the staff.
You've still got
Yeah.
the staff. Cool.
Yeah. I haven't thrown that over the side yet.
Oh, you that goes over your following shortly afterwards.
And from what I know, so I didn't know enough to know that it could fly, but do I have any inkling of what attack would be best against something that is a living embodiment of
You
of
would
this?
know with a 12, you'd know lightning, no point doing lightning.
No. Yeah.
I'd say also with a 12, you'd know that it's resistant to like the standard kinds of bludgeoning, piercing from non-magical attacks. Like if it's
Okay.
non-magical, even it has magical resistance, but so it's even hearty against that.
Okay.
Other than that, like you can make some guesses in terms of like conditions.
Yeah.
Obviously, in world, you're not going through like, I wonder what conditions it's immune to. But in terms of what you're aware certain things respond to and don't respond to. But you would definitely know lightning, there is no point attacking it with that, and you probably want to do something magical.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, I'm actually going to. I've got my forcing is magical, so I'm going to shoot it twice with my force crossbow. Is what I'm going to do.
Okay, make me some shots.
Oh no, that's not good. That one's 11, which is very disappointing.
Afraid
No.
not. It's hard because
Okay.
you're trying to hit something that isn't corporeal. So
Yeah.
these force crossbolts are just kind of weaving.
I think I've hit it, and it just goes through a little branch of electricity, basically.
Yeah.
So, that's better though. That is 19.
That hits.
Okay, cool. So d6 plus 4. So that's 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay.
Okay.
You see like kind of little breaks and little crackles as it reforms to make sure it's one whole.
Yeah. And I'm going to just try and make myself look. It obviously looks for a target, so I'm going to try and make myself look like the target it wants to go for.
I see. You're just trying to kind of take up space, draw its attention somehow.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Cutting to Rudy in the bottom deck with Holden.
Cool. So yeah, hearing this cracking noise of lightning monster outside, I start pegging it up the stairs, I think.
Totally fair. If you dash, you can basically like get almost to the top deck. Like your head's poking through the hole. And
just for something to do, because I mentioned last episode, I think, that the goggles that control Sidekick have limited ability to send messages to other people. So I just send a message I just kind of point up at anyone that can that can receive the message. Just, what the hell is going on up there?
Nice. So is Sidekick travelling with you?
Sidekick's Psycho got hit, so it's collapsed down.
Of course,
another dimension at the moment.
Sidekick
I need
completely...
to spend time. Yeah.
Yes, sorry. Sorry about that. Cool. So you shout that out. Mukt. I'm gonna say that kind of we take the veil back and you come out and you've got Liz's clothes.
Cool. I also hear the thing, and also run, but I presume I'm maybe like slightly further behind in terms of, because I went to like a different part of the lower deck. So I wasn't on the stairs.
Basically I'm gonna say like you'll be like just behind Rudy just because you were doing something a bit more involved time wise.
Yep. I'll dash and then bonus action. I don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna just wait for the next bit.
Cool. And then would be Ket's turn. Ward.
Ooh. I was like, at least I'll be able to wait for Ket, and I was like, oh no.
Waited a long time.
Jesus feckin' Christ. Okay, so how far behind us is the lightning bolt?
The lightning bolt is currently behind you. It's only like 5-10 feet away from you. Like 10 feet away from you, probably 5 feet from Mac.
Is it keeping up with the ship?
I won't make you like roll perception on this, but you get the sense that it's not quite.
I think that if I think that we can outrun it.
Roll me. You're proficient with vehicles, right?
Yeah.
You are proficient with vehicles. You know how this stuff works.
But I'm proficient with land vehicles.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Is that specifically, is there a separate proficiency for air vehicles? Because obviously air vehicles are only in... Oh, okay. Cool.
I just want to double check that only land vehicles, sorry, because I have...
That's fine.
Other things.
Cool. You don't think it can keep up, but you don't know for sure.
Okay. I guess what I'm going to do, sorry lads. I'm going to, as it's coming towards us, I just want to sort of, I think maybe we're going to be able to outrun it. But I want to try and impede it in whatever way I can. So all that I'm going to do is sort of twist my hands towards it, and a ripple of what looks like building heat passes through Ward's arm, and the metal components heat up, and there's like these waves of heat come off it, and 2 bolts of fire emerge from one of their arms.
Awesome.
For a 14 plus 8, like a
22.
That will definitely hit.
And a natural 20.
Oh, ouch.
Okay, make sure to double the dice for that natural 20.
Yeah. Cool rad. That is how many? Yep, that many. Okay, that's 6 plus 8 is 14. Just 14 points of fire damage for all
for both of those bolts, including the double dice.
Including the double. Yep.
Cool.
Sort of spiral around and slam through.
You see these, like you say, spiral around, slam through, and seem to kind of tear through about half of this living lightning bolt, which is just keeping itself like together, but you see like almost a bit more of a strain for this to be one coherent whole. Aoife, it is now your go.
Well, here goes nothing. I'm going to poke my head round from Mac and just go, excuse me 1 second. And I like to hold out my hand, and I'd like to cast a spell magic.
Nice.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. As to whether a living spell can be dispelled with dispel magic. So dispel magic, it only does up to like level 3, doesn't it? And
it can go higher, but basically you can cast it at higher levels, in which case it cancels out the spells of that level.
Cool. Just checking something.
Yeah, but if it is higher, if I cast it at level 3 and it's say a level 6 spell, I can then roll a check to see if I can make it go for a high level.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna say, okay, because you live in you've lived in the area around the Mournlands. You know this is now a living creature. It is a living lightning bolt. It's no longer technically a spell because it's living. Dispel magic won't get rid of it.
Well, that's dumb. Okay, so can I say that I wouldn't have cast that then if I knew that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well in that case, yeah, okay, in that case I'm going to do something, excuse me Mac, and I'm going to hold my hand out, and I imagine it's getting dark, right?
It's nighttime. Yeah. You are lit by the moon.
I'm going to say that, well, it's funny you say that, as the clouds pass in front of the moon, the light that comes out of it seems to intensify until a searing column of silver light rips through, and I'm going to cast Moonbeam.
Nice.
Beautiful. Do you need a roll from me on that? Or is it an attack from
Do
you?
I need to have a little bit?
It is its turn next as well.
It's a Constitution saving throw.
At the start of its turn,
When a creature enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
That is a 7.
That's a failure. So it takes 2d10 lightning damage, and you can say whether it's on, click it now or.
Well, it's
Lightning damage.
Sorry, not lightning, radiant damage.
Radiant
Damage.
Good.
It definitely is radiant, because I was like, oh, I could do that. Oh no, that is lightning damage. Okay,
Exactly.
This is a radiant.
Cool. Let me know.
That was a 1 and a 9, so that's a 10 overall.
Yeah.
So a fair average. A fair average.
Cool. Yeah, it's incredible. Just you see it almost coming down from the moon straight to hit this tiny little airship in perspective, and it just rips through this thing. It is on its absolute last legs. If it had legs, Mac, you feel like this is your opportunity.
Is it also possible to know, is Ket dead?
Ket is dead.
Not dying, just straight out dead.
Ket is dead.
Cool.
Cool rad.
Cool, great, cool.
We're going to stick with the winning formula and fire twice again, because this thing is ace. Oh, it's really good again. I'm so much better than this with the other thing. So that is 23 for the first one, which I believe will hit.
Yeah.
And just 16.
That will also hit.
Okay, cool. So 6. So all that's good. 4. That's 9. That's 8. Is 17 damage.
Keeping in mind everything that's happening right now, would you like to describe this image as Mac does this?
Well, I think because it's force that's hitting it, it probably, it's struggling to keep its form, it's struggling to be held together, and it just seems to hit one point of it that just kind of cascades out and just ripples out and just completely dissipates this whole thing.
Imagining as well, because the bolts are invisible, they're almost transparent, right?
Yeah.
Could someone imagine it goes through the night and it catches all the different lights? So there's the moonbeam light and the firebolt light and the green light, and it glows through each of them and then hits the
yeah. And there's this moment as they tear through it, and there's this final electrical crackle from this living lightning bolt, which just, like you say, kind of dissipates and almost dissolves away, and all you can hear is the rush of the air. Things are quiet. You are out of initiative. You can hear the rush of the air. The rush of the air feels like it's louder than it should be. The pilot is dead. No
Who's
one's
flying
driving
the ship?
this thing. And you realise that it's not on the same smooth course that it was.
I point to Mac. You owe me a new portable hull, and I'd like to run pilot
I
station.
hand out your staff.
Thank you.
Can any of you flown an airship before?
Mukt and Rudy, you can join at this point. Now that
I'm good with land vehicles. How different can it be?
Well, this is hardly a train.
I can tell us what the weather's going to be like.
When we
Feel
crash.
That could be effective, because you need them to steer.
So Ward and Mac, those of you who are proficient with land vehicles, especially Ward, you are associated with House Orion, who have lightning rails, and the principles between how they're controlled are similar. So you would know that if someone doesn't have a dragon mark, doesn't have the mark of storm in this case, then they can try and make a persuasion, try and be persuasive or intimidating to the elemental controlling the ship, which is basically bound to the dragon shard that is in the wheel at the helm of this ship.
Okay.
Well, I mean, even if we don't have the, sometimes you lose a pilot in combat. If someone who's got a little bit of a smoother tongue could convince the elemental that we're it's time to get us to our destination. Perhaps, Mukt, you might be able to. I don't know whether you can speak Primordial.
Speak Primordial. I took it as a language.
Cool.
Sorry. Rudy's proficient in land vehicles as well, and has gone over to the wheel and has kind of grabbed it and is trying to wrestle it a bit. And you said what was it? Intimidation or
persuasion? Typically, air elementals only speak Auron, but because this is one that has technically associated or worked with, I'm going to say you don't need to speak the language to be persuasive or intimidating in this case.
Right.
I also can speak telepathically with anybody who speaks any language.
Do I have time to inspire whoever's about to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can feel the wind moving quicker and quicker as this ship, which has been going very smoothly, starts kind of careening and diving and such like. But you've got a bit of time.
Cool. Rudy, are you going to intimidate? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. In which case, Gerthin in Liz's clothes, feeling a little bit weird and confused, sees what's happening and looks over at Rudy and says, "Rudy, don't let us fall."
So yeah, as I go over and grab the wheel, and I try and steer basically, and try and get a feel of what the ship's doing, and it's not doing what I want it to. So I kind of try to think. I like, is the dragon shard like embedded in the wheel? Can I?
Yes.
Like, it's obvious.
It's embedded in the center of the wheel. There's kind of like almost some small metal cage-like apparatus around it, and inside that is the dragon shard bound to the elemental.
Okay. I don't know what to say. So yeah, I guess I look down at it, and hey, you look. You see this big hammer on my back? You don't do what I'm goddamn telling you to, then this hammer's going straight in that shard and it's getting split into a million pieces. You understand me? So that would be with my... Did you say a D8 for inspiration?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be... 22 on intimidation.
So DC was 20.
Oh.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the inspiration. I would have got that advice.
You are welcome, darling.
You manage by sheer kind of force of will in terms of summoning up this image of you presumably shattering this dragon shard so hard that the elemental wouldn't just become unbound and unconnected and free, it would itself be shattered into a million pieces. And for now, you have control of the ship. You are managing to sail it. You can see a speck. You can see a light. You can see a lightning crackle. It's not small, it's just a little far away, and it is the head of the train called the Relentless on the other side of this plane, which very shortly you will be close enough to, but at the moment you feel the wind rushing through your hair. You are all a little beaten, a little battered, a little bruised. The moon is shining down on you, but you are still there, you are still surviving, and you can see exactly what you are aiming for. And that is where we're going to end today's episode. Woo! Woo! Oh my gosh!
Christ.
Stress.
Whoa.
So, thank you so much for everyone who joined us for that, who watched so much stuff happening. Thank you for joining us for episode 2 of this 4-parter. If you enjoyed it, we will be streaming every Monday night from 6 to 9 p.m. BST for the next 2 weeks. after which we've got some exciting new streams and such like, which we'll be announcing soon. We do also have other streams going on at the moment, including things like Underguards, which is normally a monthly live show, but at the moment is obviously a recorded show. It's a longer one in a homebrew setting, a bit of a different pace, to be honest, especially to this episode. But do feel free to check that out. There's always updates on what we're up to on our Twitter, which is @Adventurers250. Everywhere else on social media, we are Adventurers Wanted. A huge thanks again to Ultra Pro and D&D Beyond, who sponsor everything we do. We could not do this without them, so thank you. And you've still got a bit of time to get in the chat and mention this little dude here, which we've called B. Short for Beholder, Beatrice, Bobby. You get to choose if you win them. And if you head over to our YouTube channel, we've got a whole load of campaigns and games, some D&D, some Star Trek Adventures, some one-shots of indie games. We've even got like our original 250-hour long show if you're really looking for a lot of content right now. So head out to youtube.com/Adventurers Wanted for that. And just look to twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted for all our upcoming streams. If you want to support us and what we do in a different way, you can become a supporter on Patreon. Being a patron gets you access to homebrews, playable versions of adventures, so you'd get this as part of a playable module, for instance, blog posts on writing and running and role-playing in games, sneak peeks at what we're up to, all sorts. So do check that out, patreon.com/Adventurers Wanted. And another way you can support us is also just telling people about us and about the shows. So yeah, Adventurers250 on Twitter, everywhere else we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Just look for Adventurers Wanted. I'm gonna breathe. And we are gonna say goodbye for now. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
And I'm gonna stop recording.